all the fish come out and they start eating. And all these people are like, look at all those fish. And then they come and swim all over my barf.
I'm about to tell you about one of the worst honeymoons ever. What do you think makes a honeymoon the worst honeymoon ever?
Did they die?
Ball and shade.
Can I guess the category?
Yeah.
Is it heartbreak, injury, or ruined or missed expectations?
Oh, I think.
Missed expectation.
That's a big.
Okay, well here, let me help you narrow it down. It's in Hawaii.
So it's them. It's their fault. No way you could fuck that up, dude.
I love where you're at. I want you to hold that energy.
Anytime you said something, I feel like I step on a rake. That's the energy I'm feeling.
You're on it. But yeah, I think it's a little bit of the second and the third.
Heartbreak and missed
How do you fuck up Hawaii, you know?
But missed, what was it?
expectation.
Yeah, that.
Like you sign up for a 5-star cruise.
And injury.
Bed bugs.
I think. Actually, you know what?
It's all three?
It's like all three.
It's technically all three.
I bet it's
It is.
people hurt themselves in Hawaii all the time.
Yeah, so this happened in Electric Beach in Nanakuli. You know what that is?
Oh, Electric Beach.
Electric Beach.
Would you recommend it for honeymoons?
I would recommend it for snorkeling.
Oh, good.
It's a wonderful snorkeling spot.
Great.
But most people don't on a snorkel.
Why are you saying it like that?
I almost choked and drowned there
Oh, that's Electric Beach.
because
I remember
But
that.
it's beautiful though because it's right next to a.
Is that on the west side?
Yeah.
You're saying there's a drowning risk?
Well, I almost drowned and died there.
Because they probably all.
They all of them.
Joe threw up something. Did you?
No, it's because we had a fat breakfast.
Oh, right.
And then we used to go to Hawaii like every year, multiple times a year. But this time I was like, it was a long break in between. So I couldn't wait to go out. And we were just out there.
You got a prime rib.
And I forgot that I was underwater and I started breathing. I had my snorkel and I just started diving and I'm like, yo, this is so cool, man. I'm gonna chase that fish. And then like I dived and then I started going, and I was like, that's not air. And I went, oh, fuck, oh, shit. And then I started swimming.
I've done that.
And then I was like, holy fuck. And then I went on my buddy's paddleboard and I grabbed it and I started coughing and I went, bleh, and then all the puke came.
What'd you eat?
I had a 3 pancake sampler. It was literally.
I love that place.
It was fucking.
My Place Cafe.
It was so good. It was a pancake sampler. I was eating everybody's
Cookie butter, bro. The cookie butter pancake.
It was so good. You know breakfast pot I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I puked, and this is the cool spot, right?
That's David's itinerary.
While I'm coughing, fucking spilling out all my guts,
All the fish come out and they start eating. And all these people are like, look at all those fish. And then they come and swim all over my barf.
She's a fan.
Yeah.
and I'm just going, and I'm like, oh, fish.
It's like beautiful and tragic moment.
Yeah,
That's a good moment, man.
yeah. If my buddy didn't have his paddleboard there, bro, I'd be like,
Is it that deep that you?
you can't, your foot doesn't touch the ground because you have to swim out.
That's good.
Is Electric Beach pretty calm most of the time? Because when I went, I remember it was like still, and that wasn't like.
No, I mean like you have to pass waves, or it just depends on what
season,
time of year.
right?
But the cool thing is, it's like it's called electric because there's like a power plant there, and then they push out, like they use the water to cool down shit, and then they push it out, and it's warm. And then all the fish and the life right there, there's fuck tons of fish. Like yeah.
So you're saying the thing that happens when you snorkel and you forget that you're
In water, you start breathing.
common
water.
thing that occurs?
I last time I went snorkeling, sometimes you forget how low you need to be, or like if there's waves, sometimes waves will go into your snorkel, and then you'll inhale, and you're like, and you'll freak the fuck out. But it's not like you get scared a little bit, but then you're fine. But sometimes if you have a big breakfast, then you might throw up.
It's just like volunteer water.
That's also if you buy a Walmart snorkel.
Yeah, if you get the cheap one.
You get a good one, there's a stopper. And
Plug it when it goes in.
If you use a snorkel from the Airbnb that you're staying at, you might not be well equipped to snorkel.
I've literally experienced never what he's talking about.
And also too, you shouldn't go snorkel by yourself. That's the thing that I've learned.
That's true.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you fucking
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, dude. You might step on a sea urchin. You know.
Well, here's what happened to this couple that went on their honeymoon: Stephen Fan and Brittany Myers. So yeah, Stephen ended up drowning. I think possibly in the same way that you're describing. Bystanders tried to pull him to shore. They tried to administer CPR, but wasn't working. He died in the hospital.
Oh.
As Brittany returns to the car, she finds that thieves have stolen their phones, wallets, clothing, and the whole car.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
That might happen.
That's like, yeah, that's the worst honeymoon.
That combination, imagine
Yeah.
Literally the
your husband dies and then all your shit's stolen at the same time.
That's
when you go to that beach, there are signs everywhere saying "Do not leave valuables in a car" just because of that reason. And like certain areas in Hawaii, they have like signs that are like "Do not leave your shit here" because it's a tourist spot. Right. And then people are gonna try.
There's a lot of parking lots with just broken glass everywhere.
That place has broken glass.
and
Everywhere.
tourists stand out.
Listen in the station and they just don't care. Broken glass everywhere. People listen in the station and they just don't care.
Transformation before our eyes. Yeah, so in Hawaii gets a pretty high amount of like theft, right? Like from tourists and like things like that.
They know which ones are tourist cars.
Yeah, the
They
rental
also
cars stand out.
they stand out like a motherfucker. Yeah.
Because they all got the fucking the CarMax on the sticker on the door, so when you open it, and some people leave it on there, and you just know that like, okay, that's a fucking.
That's what sucks.
Right, yeah, that does suck. Yeah.
And if they're all Nissan Sentras.
Man, that's such bad luck, dude.
That's also like tourists everywhere. You know, you go to like Rome or wherever.
Yeah.
Like, everyone tells you like keep a low profile, but then tourists don't listen, so they go everywhere with their expensive shit, their nice stuff because they're on vacation. They want to look nice. Damn. And then they keep like their, you know, they don't have like that little safety, like flesh-colored fanny pack that you keep underneath, so you get pickpocketed.
You know what's crazy too is that like, so I'm imagining that because they were out in the water for an extended period of time because of what happened, that was like probably the moment that thieves were like, oh, that's their stuff that they put aside. There's the key. And they did this whole thing while they're trying to save her husband. It's so fucked up, man. But yeah, there's a GoFundMe right now if you guys want to support it, the Myers fan GoFundMe. Side note, so I saw this original article on Neck Shark, and there was a top comment that I thought was so Neck Shark. Some guy said, oh, it's because it was an Asian guy with a white wife. That's practically a target on your back.
What?
There's so many.
Who says that?
There's so many couples there that are. It's actually the.
That's a top comment? That means people like.
No, it's like
More than one.
Hawaii's the top state of interracial marriages and mixed peoples.
Yeah.
There's a whole name for like half white, half Hawaiian, whatever. It's called Hapa.
Yeah. And then I was like, why did this guy believe that? And then I looked at his profile and it was just all Voltron.
You telling me that Voltron guy?
It was all like meet and greets at Comic Cons and shit. I was like,
the hell?
But yeah, if you go swim though, like number one rule, always swim with a buddy.
Yeah. For that reason.
Open water. Yeah,
I think they were
you
with
have to.
the tour. They're not by themselves, or like they might have been with the tour group or something. And then they just, I think they couldn't keep him up or whatever. I read this whole thing. It was fucked up.
But he wasn't swimming with the buddy, because if you are, like, you would recognize immediately when they go unconscious. He might have been with the group, but he probably went off by himself.
I think
But you always need to swim with the buddy.
people underestimate like swimming out in those waters. You know, like
Yeah.
or just in general. Like if you're not a very good swimmer and you try to do stuff like that, like you can get in some serious trouble.
Because there's
without you
also a
even
thing
realizing.
called shallow water blackout, which happens a lot. Like people don't know, but you can die in 3 feet of water. Because especially people that don't like regularly swim,
yeah.
all of a sudden they're doing things where it's like looking at crabs and shit. And you're like, oh, I'm safe. This is 3 feet of water, you know. And then that type of hyperventilation and controlling your breath, you're not used to it. And then like all of a sudden you just fucking pass out, and you just die in 3 feet of
What do you
water.
think about that?
Yeah. So it's like it's not really the depth of water that's lethal. It's how often you do what you're about to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just look at people like they're so weak.
But honestly though, some people really are. Like some people really are like they're not physically fit at all.
To do activities.
They do these activities, and then they're just like not ready for it. We went kayaking in Lanikai all the way to this like island that was like, and as we're doing it, we're like, this is a fucking mistake.
It's much farther than it looks.
Oh yeah, it was so fun. Like I had a blast, but I went with another couple, and we were just fighting with our ladies the whole time. But it was fun.
You paddle, no, you paddle.
Vacation.
Not a real
And
vacation.
then me and my buddy were like, fucking these girls, dude. They're yelling at us over nothing, you know? But it's like, we feel comfortable with kayaking. Like, so we feel pretty comfortable with all that. But then they're kind of scared, right? Because we have to like dock, we have to time the wave to get to the island to
Are
land
you with
properly.
your lady on one, or two dudes on one?
We're
That's the word.
me and her, and yeah, couples on one kayak.
Screaming at you
But,
from
like,
over here.
I would love to be the dudes on one. Shake their kayak.
Yeah. But we were cruising, we're going, and then they're like, I'm tired, and then we're just doing all the paddling, which is fine, not a big deal. But you see all these people, we saw these tourists come in, and they were kayaking, and they were in like civilian clothes, right?
Yeah.
And they
They're
hop
either
on.
experts or they suck ass.
Let me tell you, they weren't experts because they have to time their kayak to get out of the shore, and it's the hardest part. And they're getting destroyed by waves, right? And they were getting hit in the face with the kayak, like just getting fucked up. And they thought it was just gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be fun. We're just gonna
Like it's a fucking British park pond.
But it's like you have to remember, like there's jellyfish out here. There's fucking like this is the wild. You can't be fucking around. Like you got to be kind of careful when you do that.
You gotta respect the nature.
Yeah, bro. So it's kind of like personal responsibility too. I'm not saying for this guy.
No, for sure. Yeah.
General, like, because you always hear locals say like, oh, all the tourists get fucked up over here, and we tell them, but they don't listen. They want to
They
do
don't
their own
listen.
thing.
That is true. Yeah.
A lot of my local
Yeah,
friends
that's
have
true.
a story of multiple times they saved lives of tourists from either drowning or just like being caught in riptides or just like weird. Like it's like there's just too many people that get fucked up.
Yeah. A lot of people just don't know what they're getting into.
Take some swimming lessons, you know.